All right, guys. So today I'm gonna go over like a social media training. So some of the marketing strategies that I've been kind of picking up and learning recently that I really want to share with you guys, and I think it can really help take your whatever that you're doing to the next level. So as you guys know, like I built my whole team essentially on social media, and I feel like if it works for me, it can definitely work for you guys as well. And there's this phrase that I heard recently that really, really spoke to me, and I think will speak to you guys as well. And they said that any time when we are on social media, we are either being sold to or we are doing the selling. So we are either being sold to or we are selling. So which side of the equation are you going to be on? Are you going to be the person who's being sold by the messages that are on news feed, on Facebook, on Instagram, or are you going to be doing the selling? So how do you sell on social media? Super simple. It's like it has to do with psychology, right? Like that's something that I've learned when I was at Berkeley. They said that the more people constantly see you over and over again, that breeds attraction. Familiarity breeds attraction, right? So the more that you constantly pop up in people's news feed, the more people will tend to like you. And then the more people tend to like you, the more they will most likely trust you. And that usually are the key factors when it comes to closing a sale, right? I think Lillian can probably add to this, and she has that marketing background. But so what you are going to do, even like I'll give you guys an example of Tyler, right? Today I saw his video, but I saw a really personal touch to it because I saw him on a video. People want to see that. People want to see you as a person, not just someone they don't know behind the screen. So seeing a video like Tyler and seeing a little bit about his life really kind of made me feel a bit closer to him as opposed to just like a post with words or pictures. So I highly recommend you guys to do more videos. Just super simple, guys. It's documenting your journey. Think of it as like doing it for yourself. 10 years from now, what is Facebook going to show you what your memories were 10 years ago, right? Like you want to see your own journey, how far you have came along, even 2 years ago, even a year ago. Think of it as your diary on social media, but except that you're going to let everyone see it, right? Because you also have to think of the people who's watching you. I don't know who's watching me. I don't know who's watching Tyler. I don't know who's watching Crystal or Hatam or Lillian. There are people out there who will only resonate with you and you only. People who are down to it a torrential level resonate with Tyler and not me, right? I'm not that person. So, you got to put yourself out there and really just show people who you are. And you do that by constantly posting. I cannot emphasize this enough. Like, even if you don't want to do it for people, just think of doing it for yourself. Document your journey. So again, you're either being sold to or you're doing the selling when it comes to social media. So some of the things that I recommend you guys to do when it comes to sharing a post, super simple. Think of a few things at the top of your mind. Whenever you post something, you can either share a story. Okay, so it can be something about like your journey, something that happened to you last week that you overcame, some of like the fears, limitations, something that you did, like a story. People like stories, so tell a story on your post. Okay, so that's one way you can share something on social media. Second, you can talk about well, I think that's kind of similar to the first thing, but you want to share value. So you want to share maybe, I know a lot of you guys on here are doing personal development. That's where I get almost all my content from. When I learn something and wow, like that really, stick with me that I heard on a podcast, I want to share that because if it resonated with me, I know there are people out there who want to hear the same message. So, use anything that you learn from books, podcasts, YouTube, and just teach a lesson. Think of it as teaching a lesson to people who's watching your journey. So, so number one, you want to share a story about you, your journey. Number two, you want to share a value, teach a lesson. Okay. Number three, you want to kind of give people a specific action step. So I think I've done videos like tips and strategies that I use to personally take my life to the next level. So I can recommend people like oh, there's an option on iPhones that you can limit your social media use by going under settings. So you give you a specific action step that people can apply instantly that can have a positive impact on their life. Super simple, like whatever you do, right? If, like, for example, Tyler, you wake up in the morning, maybe you meditate, so you teach people that. You teach people what your morning routine is like, what you do during the day, what you do when there's a negative thought that comes to your mind. Teach people those action steps that has worked for you. Okay, so that's another tip that you guys can do for when it comes to sharing a post. And then finally, I think the last thing is call to action. You know, don't do this too often. People, it's kind of, I think, I forgot who said this. Maybe Gary Vee said, like, you want to jab, hook, right? You want to provide value many times before you give that call to action for people to hit you up, like send you an EM or connect with you. That action step that requires a little bit more effort on that person on the other side to take action, that's something you want to do once in a while. And you want to end that with your post at the end, right? Some call people, like, if you don't call them to action, they won't do anything. So it's just a little thing that you want to add to the end. So you can be like, hey, send me a message if you want to talk about this, or connect with me if you want to, whatever. Okay, whatever you can think of. So to recap, you want to share a story about your journey. So whatever that can be, maybe something happened, like, I don't know. I'm not thinking right now. So anything about your journey, a story. Okay. Second thing, you want to share value, teach a lesson, anything that you learn, anything that you have applied, teach a quick 5-minute, 3-minute lesson on a live stream or whatever. And then number three was, what was number three? What was number three, guys? I remember the number four thing was call to action. Number three was, anyone remember? Who's paying attention? Unmute yourself, Lillian.
It was very similar to call to action. You need to have an action step.
Oh, yes, Lillian was paying attention. Yeah, it's really similar to point. It's like really, you want to give people an action step that they can use to apply. I guess the slight difference between that specific action step and call to action is that you want them to more like, the call to action is more so they can connect with you. It's kind of like for a sales purpose. I hope that kind of clears up that distinction a little bit. Right? So, like, the specific action step that you want to give out is just pure intention to help people to really better their life. Any tips and strategy that you personally use and you can recommend people to give it a try, as opposed to the call to action, is more so that you want people to connect with you, hit you up with a DM, something like that. So let's see what else I want to talk about.
Miko, can I add something to you?
Yes, go ahead. Hold on, let me mute myself as I can hear you. Okay.
So when I was doing some network marketing training, they mentioned that the most genuine accounts get the most social media traffic. So what that means is that, like, when you log into like someone's Instagram account, you don't want to see so much of like what you're trying to show to people. Like, for example, like if we put like too many quotes here and there and they're not there to see quotes, because you're trying to get people to slowly integrate to that, right? You can't really attract people by that. So how you attract people is really through like your own interests and like as Miko said, your own story. So you have to post things like your food or your daily life, or I'm brushing my teeth, or for Tyler, like your dog. Like for example, if you were to have your dog on there, you can attract people who also have dogs, that likes dogs. And after that, you can put on your story. So what most of the successful network marketing people do, they put most of their like actual content regarding what they're trying to sell on their stories rather than their profile, because the profile is what you first see, right? And if you can't attract that person immediately from the first impression, then sorry, Bob Proctor is yelling. So after that, they will see your stories. They will see that, oh, this is like the product that I'm trying to show, or this is the value that I'm trying to show. So you do that mostly through your stories. But again, like try to put out your interests, your daily interests. Like if you're into cars, like do stuff about your cars. If you're into ballet, like Miko, do stuff about ballet, because you can connect to a community with a lot of ballet people who also might want to go through self-development. So yeah. Also, really important in the millennial age, you need to be consistent in terms of activity, but not spam, so good content. And preset, you know what preset is? I don't know if you guys know what this is. It's like a filter, but essentially you need to have like some sort of theme to like for people to actually like. So. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Lillian. That was really, really awesome. And I'm so proud of you for already leading the training. Super amazing nuggets. So going back.
Give some advice. That's it. No, I'm not leading anything.
All right, so let me see. Yeah, that was really good tips that Lillian just shared with us. So going back to that, just I want you guys to, at the end, the main thing I want you guys to get out of this call is to be mindful. Anytime you go on social media, remember you are either being sold to or you're doing the selling. So which side of the equation are you on? You got to be mindful of that every single time you get on social media. Are you just mindlessly looking at other people's poses and let that influence your thinking, or are you doing the influencing by sharing what you're going to share on your post? So that's something like once you're mindful of that, I think it's going to change everything. So another tip that I can give you guys when it comes to connecting with people is to just browse through Facebook groups that relate to your hobbies, like what Lillian was saying. There are people out there who, we have different hobbies, we have different interests. Like people who relate to me will not necessarily relate to Azuka, or people who are drawn to Azuka will not be drawn to me. So like you gotta show you, right? So really highlight who you are and just be you on the social media platform. So let's go to Facebook groups, right? Dive into groups that are related to your interests and just drop some free value on there, and people will connect with you. Like I joined so many entrepreneurship groups on Facebook, and it's like I guess spam with comments and likes when I just literally dropped one post on there. And I met so many new friends just by doing that. So there's so many people out there on Instagram, on Facebook. You gotta just go out there and find those people. If you don't put yourself out there, no one's gonna find you. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it for social media training. For me, I mean, it's pretty. Do you guys have any question you want to ask me about social media specifically? You can go ahead and mute yourself right now and then go ahead and ask me questions. You guys good? Let's see. If you guys don't have questions, okay, Azuka?
No, I didn't have a question. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty much good. I mean, like, I've been following, like, exactly what you've been doing. Like, even though you haven't said it, a lot of times you've said it, but sometimes I just notice what you post and how you post and everything like that. So I just follow suit, whether it be Instagram or Facebook. And I like finding out new stuff and playing with the new tools and stuff like that. So yeah, searching out. So I'm the one thing I will take away from this is actually what you're talking about, the focusing on the different groups, or seeing those different groups that I might have in common and everything like that, where it's just like, yeah, I've been invited to and join like different like crypto groups and stuff like that from my posts. Like it's a guy, like he's starting like I think something like our IML, but he's doing just straight crypto, right? So I got joined in his group. So I'm talking to people about crypto and foreign exchange as well on that actual group. So yeah.
Right, awesome. Yeah, I just want to say I'm so proud of you too, Azuka. I see you in really opening up so much more on social media and putting yourself up there. I love your videos too. I don't know if you were on when I was telling a group about Tyler's video earlier. You know, when I see Tyler's video, it's like there's such a personal touch to it when we get to see you on video, right? It's like it feels like I know you a little bit more just by seeing you on video compared to just like quotes and pictures. So it's really powerful, and I'm so proud of you to really step out that comfort zone. I know you mentioned before, like you don't really want to put yourself on social media like that. So like I know it's a big step forward for you. So really proud. Do you guys have any other questions about social media before I end this recording, and then we'll go into team check-in?
I have one.
Okay, go ahead.
And it's cause like I don't put a lot of myself on social media, so wouldn't it be weird if people suddenly saw like so many things on there, and then what if like my followers don't like it?
Good question. Really good question. Yeah. So, I mean that at the end of the day, that comes down to you developing yourself to the point where you don't give a damn about what people think, right? Like, you're not doing this for people out there who won't like what you have to say or what you have to see. Those followers, it's not your target audience anyway. So, like, who cares if they don't like what you're doing? Who cares if all of a sudden you became this amazing person who's documenting your journey? Like, it does not matter. You gotta keep your mind focused on reaching those people who need to hear what you have to say. You gotta keep your mind on that. We don't do what we do to please the haters. We do what we do to serve those who need it. So like, I don't care. I mean, you gotta get to a point where you just feel like you just gotta be like, I don't give a damn about these people. Like, yeah, I care about you as friends. I still respect and love you, but that's not what I'm doing. I don't live my life to please you. If you don't resonate with my message, then okay, whatever. I'm gonna keep doing me, and I know what I have to offer. I know what the value that I have to share to those people who's you don't know really. Like, there are people out there who may be the same age as you, who may be on the same journey as you, and they need that answer right now. And you are going to be the only one who can deliver that message. And you just gotta focus on that. Think of those people who's waiting for you. They're waiting for Lillian, the teacher, to show up in their life and to really be that positive role model for them. Okay, so if you keep that focus, like you won't care about anyone else who's gonna think, otherwise of you. Does that help?
Yeah, I think the last really helped. Like, what if people need my help? I think that should be where my story is going to be about. So, thanks, Miko.
Yes. And Azuka said, watch a lot of Gary Vee. Yeah, that's another amazing guy on YouTube that you can definitely dive into. He's savage. So, he's really good at really helping you develop that fearless mentality. So if you resonate with him, definitely check him out on YouTube. But anyone else have questions? I'm going to end this recording, and then we'll go into a check-in. Azuka is raising his hand. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got a quick question, and it's more like a technical question. Really showing my age again. Okay, because I got the total transparent trading thing. The next time I'm either gonna record tonight or tomorrow, and I'm gonna backtrack and review and put my story on there. Because it's the extensive part of the story, so I'm gonna chop it up in 2-3 episodes to how I got to that point where I actually made that trade to grow 150 to 732, but whatever. Anyway, technical thing as far as how do I just record just one video and then put it on all platforms?
Yes, good question. So I was actually just editing a video earlier on my phone, There is an app called InShot. Let me send it to you guys. InShot on the chat. Super amazing. Like I can show you guys what I did with my video. I don't know if you guys can see it, but you know, I noticed that people really like to see titles, right? Like they kind of, you know, that 3 seconds attention span that when people see on the news feed, if it doesn't catch their attention, they won't look at it. So like I think it's important to have like a title, and then if you have the time, definitely put the subtitles at the bottom. But this app allows you to put in all these like extra stuff, make it fancy. You can add music, you can chop it up, like you can trim it. So use apps like that. It's gonna help you. So if you can record like a whole video and then just like use the app to trim it to like 1 video, 2 video, and 3 videos, and then just upload it separately. But you know, just play around with it. It's really easy. If you need help, I can definitely, you know, get on a one-on-one call and then guide you through that. I know Lillian also has some experience with Photoshop. I don't know if that has to do with video editing, but if you want to chip in, you can go ahead.
So for video editing, if you're a beginner and you want to edit videos, I highly recommend iMovies. I don't know if you have Apple products, but that's free and it's really easy to use. After iMovies, they have a share option, and it links to YouTube, it can link to Instagram or Facebook, and you can even save it to your own camera roll, so you don't have to necessarily connect like your Instagram, your Facebook to iMovies. So that's a really great option. It has really simple functions such as like you can put like text on it or whatever filter. If you want to go advanced, there's like a lot of other video editing apps out there, but like the simplest one I can think of is iMovies, and like the most pro one I can think of is Premiere Pro, hence the word pro. And I don't think you need to get into that right now, but my suggestion is iMovies. Yeah, I hope that answers your question, Azuka.
Yeah, answer my question. Just real quick. So iMovies, does it have like where you can put like music in the background or anything like that, or certain music files to have background music and stuff like that?
Yes. So typically, like I know on the computer especially, they can do that. That's how a lot of YouTubers got started actually. On the phone or the iPad, that's a little harder because you have to you have to get your music to convert it to like an MP3 and then input it to iMovies. It's a little more complicated because you have to save it to iCloud or to your phone. Okay. And you don't know where it's stored necessarily, so it's kind of hard. But if you have like an iMac or something, it's very possible for both of them. Okay. Yeah. Cool. You can also try other apps as well, but I think like here's the thing, like for video editing or like photo editing or anything like that, my goal is to constantly get better at it. So the phone apps, they can only do so much, and eventually you want to get better, right? So eventually you have to switch to another app. But for video editing, like I typically go from like iMovies to a more harder platform to like what is it called? Something else, like Jungle, to Premiere Pro. Does that make sense? Because those you can individualize to yourself, and from like a consumer's perspective, I'm thinking, oh, this person is using an app to do this, and I know what this app is. I mean, you can recommend it to others that you want to use. You can use this app as well, but they know that it's an app and that you're not creating this content like genuinely by yourself. And does that make sense? There's a psychological thing that goes through your head, that goes through a consumer's head when they see a video content, right? So I just suggest like tinkering with iMovies. I personally I do have experience where I have the music under it, but I actually recorded the music like as a separate file and then input it there instead of converting it from like the MP3, the original MP3. You can tinker with that. I don't know about that, but I know it's possible.
Cool.
Internet is your best friend. Google. Yeah.
It is.
YouTube.
Yes, thanks. Thanks, Daryl. So much good advice. So let me finish this